Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Talking Shit. As you can tell, for our audio listeners, you might not be able to tell, but this is one of our Halloween episodes.
Yes,
okay?
And happy Halloween.
Yeah.
We celebrate it all month long.
Right? Yeah. And we released this one on Friday the 13th. So what better day to get started on Halloween month?
Absolutely. With both of your favorite hosts, I'm Prodigy Q.
And I'm Amanda. You might notice that Teddy is not here right now. So right before we were starting recording, everyone's power went out.
Right. I guess a true Halloween fashion, right?
Right.
I'm glad it wasn't nighttime though.
Yeah. Me too. And so we are recording outside, and Teddy likes to bark at everything outside, so he is not with us
He's not
today.
with us now, but it's okay.
It's okay. He's sleeping. He'll be fine. But yeah. So tell us a little bit about what we're going to be talking about.
So I guess to get the Halloween season started, we decided that we would share stories about kind of love and murder, love and death, and kind of the stories about people who may have, I guess, died from love.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm a sexy vampire today, because
Yes.
all of these people are kind of either sexy or not sexy vampires.
Right. And I guess I'm a dead chef, and you know, I guess
yeah.
we're not...
Yeah, dead meat over here.
Oh man!
And
So
I want to suck everyone's blood. I don't know how to do the classic vampire voice. I don't know.
I don't know either, right?
I want to suck blood.
I always think about the count from Sesame Street. 1,
Yeah.
2,
I've been trying to think if I was gonna do a vampire voice like the whole episode, but I haven't decided.
I thought about it too. I was like, yo, I'm gonna do a voice the whole time. But
it's okay. I'm just gonna go in and out.
Right.
And change up voices a lot. It's okay.
Oh, and for our audio listeners, listen, if you want to see these costumes and what we look like, definitely go to our YouTube where we do post the actual videos of our podcast.
Yeah, and if you want all the links to our podcast, follow at TALKIN, TALKIN, shit, ATL, on Instagram, and we'll post a picture of us as well, and all of the links are in our bio. So.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Shameless, not shameless plugs.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird, but we have to do it.
Right.
And honestly, if y'all could like, subscribe, download, it helps us tremendously, because we want to be able to show this podcast to people that haven't been able to experience us, and the only way that it gets the word out with the algorithm is having a lot of subscribe, comment, download, all the bits. And we really want to engage with y'all. We really do.
So
like to connect. Tell us in the comments what your Halloween costume is this year.
Yes, right.
And if you have multiple, put multiple.
Absolutely.
So.
And we love Halloween. Just by the way, it's one of our favorite months together. We both love.
I mean, I think it's my favorite holiday.
I think it's my favorite holiday.
For sure.
I love the season. I love being able to dress up. And, the candy and the treats, the parties. I mean, I love it all. So.
And seeing everybody's creativeness.
Yes, oh my gosh. And I was actually looking at some different things online, like different ideas for costumes and stuff. And the things that people think of and do is just so, it's amazing. I saw some costumes what? I would have never thought of that. And I mean, the creativity is next level.
I know. I said creativeness, and I was like, man, that's not a word. Creativity. But yes, I love it. I'm gonna get close so you can see. So there's different colors in my face, and blood and stuff, and some black eye action.
Yeah, because I love the mouth.
Yeah. Yeah,
So they
and
add some more blood.
there's like a
and-
bunch of
yeah.
discoloration on my body and blood. And it was really fun because I didn't follow a guide or anything.
Yeah,
I knew I was
really.
going to do red around my eyes, and that was
Yeah,
it. And I
right.
just like used some of my tools, and it was really fun.
Yeah, it was
So
really
I'm glad
dope,
that
yeah.
we are dressing
Yes.
up
I
and doing
love it,
this.
right.
But let's get started
Let's
with
get
the mail.
started. That's your scary laugh.
Was it really?
I was asking you,
Oh,
that's
no.
your
I feel like I could be
your
scarier,
ghoulish
but
laugh.
we're outside, so I'm like, I don't know.
It
should
kind
I
of
be
went into
like...
a Santa Claus thing. Oh, and by the way, listen, Amanda made us another amazing cocktail, kind of Halloween inspired, and it's blood-esque and it's fused. And listen, you guys, it's amazing. So listen, comment in these, comment in our posts and stuff. You know, if you want to learn how she makes these, because
and
she
share
makes
some recipes.
great drinks.
Thank you. I actually haven't. I don't know if y'all. I don't think I've told y'all, but it was whichever episode. I think it was the third one where I spilled the beer all over the floor and stuff.
Yeah.
Cleaned it up with my socks. Call back. But I haven't drank in any episode since then, and I'm not like drinking. This is not as much alcohol as it might look like.
Right.
But this is my first time drinking again, so I thought that was a good note because I felt like I was like doing it too often on the camera, and I didn't want to contribute to like making people feel like people always need to have it, or like that I do it as much as it seemed, you know what I mean? So and I just have been focusing on like a clearer mindset lately. So but today I'm drinking.
Right. Another season. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
It is delicious.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. And
all right.
we're ready.
So I do want to get started by giving a little bit of a trigger warning and just acknowledging the fact that you know, we are going to be talking about murder, we are going to be talking about domestic abuse, and I just first and foremost want to give the hotline to everybody listening. So if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, their hotline number is 800-799-7233. So it's 800-799 and then SAFE, which is 7233. Yeah, so definitely take advantage of the resources. You know, that's tough stuff to be going through, and we recognize that as well, and want the best for everybody, and want everybody to feel great about themselves.
Right, absolutely, and to find true love and love in the right places, for sure. So again, if you are in those kind of situations, or you know somebody who is like, don't ignore it, don't ignore the signs, like, listen, leave. I know sometimes those situations may be difficult, you feel like you can't, but for your life, for your safety and your future, definitely do so. And there's so many resources. So you think, okay, I don't know where to go, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Listen, there's resources out there. So,
and there are shelters that will make sure that you are in there like anonymously, and that your partner won't be able to find you. And there are also organizations where you can take your animals with you, and like there's a lot of resources. So maybe you know, if you research it on private and then delete all your search history or something, you know, like but definitely, I mean, if anybody's struggling with that and wanted to reach out, like, I will definitely do my best to help.
Right.
Because I don't want anybody living in that situation.
And I also want to make note as well, specifically, that this also applies to men as well. A lot of men don't speak up, that may be in domestic situations, and then maybe resort to other things, or become violent themselves when normally they wasn't. So as a man, you leave, and you're not less of a man or anything by being in a relationship. You deserve equally, as well as the woman or whoever you're with, or whatever the case may be. So definitely seek help as well if you need it. Find those resources. Be willing and open to actually talk to somebody about it.
Yeah. And it's incredibly hard. So you're brave for anything you do, and for pushing through. and living another day. So yeah, definitely want to say that. I do want to talk about a little bit of statistics. So like you said, there are men that are in domestic violence relationships, like they are victims of that for sure, and that doesn't get talked about enough. But I have more statistics based on women. So every 9 seconds a woman is assaulted or beaten in the U.S. and femicide, which is the gender-based killing of women, is often, and I'm not sure how they calculate this, and if they also, like, if they're just kind of basing this in a binary gender system, which isn't accurate. So I'm not sure if they are in just doing cis women or cis and trans women. I'm not sure. But from what I found, so the gender-based killing of women is often thought of as an issue affecting low-income countries, but that's not the case because all femicide cases are in high-income countries, and 70% of them occur in the U.S. Yeah, to put it on a global scale, I guess 70% of the killings are femicide in the U.S. But so to put that on perspective, on a global scale, the U.S. ranks 34th for intentional female homicides at a rate of 2.6 killings per 100,000 women. So, you know, we rank 34th, and there's 195 countries in the world.
Wow. That's crazy. That's actually really crazy.
Yeah, and I like...
Sheesh. And we're one of the bigger ones, so in comparison to whatever else might be on that list, the bigger ones would be...
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't go through the full list. I just looked at the U.S. statistics. I'm not sure what.
But in comparison to our country, compared to other countries, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Per capita kind of.
For sure. And I mean, there was an experience like. So I used to watch different murder shows growing up, even when I was a kid, and I definitely shouldn't have been.
I used to watch them. Be up paranoid all night.
Yeah, for real.
At the window.
Like, I always walked around my house with like a knife if I heard any noises or anything. I'm like,
checking doors and that's hilarious.
Yeah, definitely the stereotype of the white woman walking towards the crime is accurate with me.
Every time. That's hilarious. I thought it was actually more funny, maybe because of the story in itself, and at the same time, kind of what this story means to the greater world. But it is a story full of love, murder, and suicide. And so, actually, my first two people I'm talking about is Romeo and Juliet. Now, listen, Romeo and Juliet is the epitome.
I didn't know we were doing these kind of stories.
I know, and we're not, but I am, because here we are.
Goodness.
So
ours are going to be very different vibes.
I know,
I can already tell.
And I love that part. So listen. Romeo and Juliet, because this is a major story. First of all, it's a major story about love, okay? But Romeo and Juliet, for those who may not know, okay, we're teenage lovers, okay, born into two feuding families, okay? And so Romeo went in disguise in order to go to this party, and him and Juliet fell in love. But because of their feud, they decided to get married. And they got married in hopes that it would end the feud between two family members. This is real stuff. This is real life.
No,
it is crazy.
Not. Wait, is it based on a real...
Actually, you know what? I was doing research that technically it is based on a true story, except for the death scene was the only thing that wasn't.
Oh, okay.
But ideally, it's based on a true story.
Know.
Yeah, when I was researching, I was the same thing. I kind of went with. I was like, yo, this is entertaining to me. But it gets crazy because it is a crazy story, right? About Romeo, who encounters Tybalt, which is Juliet's cousin. Tybalt, thank you. Tybalt, who is Juliet's cousin, and he challenged Romeo to like a fight, But Romeo says that he doesn't want to. So then his homie,
Mercutio.
I'm gonna mess it up. Mercutio decided that, yo, I'm gonna fight for my mans. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, Mercutio ends up getting killed. And you already know, like Romeo say, yo, you done killed my day one. Yo, I can't let that stand. So,
I'm sorry, I'm trying not to laugh right now because I'm like so blown away that this is your story.
Because this is real. This is real. Like, yo, we talking about like death. Like,
I didn't know it was
man.
based on true story. That's so crazy. But
kill that man. So Romeo said, yo, I gotta go defend my boy. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't let that happen. So he goes and he kills Tibble. Yeah, kill that man. Yeah. So now he gotta go. Now he gotta run. You know, so he gotta be on the run. He gotta get up out of there because now it's getting real. You know what I'm saying? He killed that girl cousin. You know what I'm saying? So now we feuded even more. Like, we got big beef. You know, you can't stand for that. So they had a whole plan that Juliet was gonna fake her death. You know, so she was gonna take this poison that was supposed to really put her to sleep. And then it's gonna let Romeo know so he can come back to come get his lady. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna run off and be happily ever after. But unfortunately, Romeo got the wrong word that Juliet actually was dead. So then he went to her side and killed himself. And then Juliet actually woke up, saw that he was dead, and then killed herself. And that's love, man. The tragics of love. The tragic.
And
the tragedies of love.
Man, I can't think about Romeo and Juliet without thinking about how when I was in 9th grade, they showed us the movie where they had the titty pop out. And my teacher didn't know that the titty popped out. So like 3 different classes got to see the titties, and I was later in the day and I didn't get to see the titties.
Really?
Really?
First of all, how she let 3 classes go by?
I don't think she was not paying attention. And she was like, wow, these kids are really engaged right now. They love this movie.
Show the 2 more classes. They loving it.
She was wild.
She was wild.
She was wild.
Wild. That's so funny. But that is both tragedy about love, man. And it's also declared one of the greatest, supposedly one of the kind of like greatest love stories told in our country as well. So, so that's also kind of why I wanted to actually the irony of it in itself, and that being one of the greatest love stories about, you know, a fight for love, and then it also be definitely full of tragedy and murder. Man, people dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all for love, you know, and the safe for love, you know.
For real.
And yes, that was my first one.
I'm trying to comb through and pick what my first one is going to be because I feel like it's changing right now.
Really?
It's a very different vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So my story is going in the theme of what we were talking about earlier, that like, even though it's usually men, it's not always men. So sometimes bitches be killing. And
I'm not gonna lie. The other ones I got.
Yo, you got a bunch of women too? Yeah. Oh no. We didn't talk about what we were sharing, and now it's gonna be a woman killer episode. I got a couple minutes, but anyways. So my story is about Lydia Sherman, who is known as the Derby poisoner. She's an American serial killer. She poisoned 8 of her children and 3 of her husbands.
What?
And was convicted for second-degree murder in 1872.
That's a lot of poison. That's a lot of.
Yeah. So apparently, back in the 1860s or whatever, I don't know when they stopped doing it, but back in the day, they just used to casually sell you as much arsenic as you wanted.
Really?
Like, it was in the corner shop, for
really?
real. Like, you could literally go up in the pharmacy and just buy as much as you want. Yeah, because it was, hilarious. You know, like rat poison. Yeah. So it was like, that's how people were able to buy it. And you can still buy rat poison, but like not in the same amount. It's not just like arsenic powder just ready to go and mix in your drinks. Like, that's why everyone was dying back then from poisoning. It was so easy. It was so easy. It's crazy. But she got married at 17 and to her first husband. And like that. So from everything that I found, that was her first kill. And then she just like after that she was like, I'm
This is
really
fun?
loving this.
But was
Yeah.
there a reason? Was there any reasons behind it? Like was there anything like he was domestic, or is there any reason like why she may have begun to even play with poison to begin? You know, was there any triggers or?
I don't.
Like, you know, because I mean, was there any triggers with any of them, or was
I
it
don't
just kind
think.
of?
I think. Well,
like,
I think her
just...
first husband wasn't all that great, but it really was like her. Let's see. And also her dad was like not too great because like they grew up in the Methodist church, and he was like very strict about a bunch of stuff, but she worked as a nurse, so she also had easy access to a bunch of different stuff, and I think her first, let's see. Oh, it just said that her husband became depressed. It didn't say anything about like him being aggressive or anything. It's just like he was depressed. So she was like,
"Oh, you're not the same
sad,
person.
not anymore, because you're dead."
Right.
There you go.
Maybe I help you end your misery, and she just realized how quick it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe asked,
and
you
then
know
she really liked it after that, and
she liked it.
Yeah, and then her other husband, because she killed 3 husbands, and her other husband started to get sick, and then she's like, he ain't worth it no more, and like.
So maybe because she was a nurse, so maybe she felt like she was helping to alleviate their pain.
No, do not defend this woman. She killed all her kids too.
We're gonna get to the kids in a minute, but I mean, we gotta.
She was orphaned as a child and raised by her uncle. So her uncle was the one that was hardcore about the church.
It's like you work yourself up to things. So it's like, okay, the first husband had depression, so you probably, she probably was like, okay, I can help you, end your misery. Some people that get depressed already sometimes be on that. So maybe she was like, okay, well, I'm helping him. Or maybe he asked, And then the second husband was sick, so she was like, okay, well, undergo your pains.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't think it was
I don't know what the babies do.
Nothing. She just like killing bitches.
So she was at that point was like, look, after the third husband. Okay. I have so many questions.
She was caught after her third husband, and so then when she was caught, she received a life sentence for 2nd-degree murder.
So they didn't catch they didn't catch her for the 8 kids either. So the 2 husbands, she got 2 husbands and 8 kids before they found her. She made it seem like an accident. Every time?
Yeah, she was like, and.
Or did she kill all her kids at the same time?
And I mean, like we were just saying, like usually it's men that kill. So like women, like I feel like women are looked at more now, but like back then, like.
Oh, did you really think women could kill?
You wouldn't think that a widower is like really a widower because they murdered their husband, like just casually.
So what happened to the kids though?
Okay, so let's see.
Also took 3.
I think they just bopped them.
Not bopped them.
Oh yeah, yeah. So 3 husbands, 4 children. She made a confession about poisoning them all.
Under the watch of a careless matron and with the help of friends. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, and she died in prison from cancer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. But no, like everything, but like her accounts of her crimes have changed, like her stories have changed some, but I mean she killed for like over a decade before she even began to go through the process of getting caught and stuff.
That's wild.
And she did it in a way where she could get away with it because like one of them was sick, so it was like he died, from being sick, and then it was like the first one, I think she did like oh no. Okay, we have to be back. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh God. So basically, we had a reflector, and it just fell off the entire thing.
Balcony. So
yeah,
we'll be right back.
Okay, love y'all. Bye. Love y'all. See you in a minute. Okay, welcome back, y'all.
We're back,
We're
everybody.
back. So we had a reflector that flew off the porch, and we had to go rescue it.
Yeah.
And we found out that the power's back on, so yay!
Yes.
But we're sticking out here with y'all.
Right. We're back at it.
Yeah. So I mean, I was basically done with my story. So if you want to go ahead into your next one.
Okay, cool. So this story is the murder of David Lynn Harris. And David Lynn, and this became like a big kind of story when it happened. But David Lynn was an American orthodontist, and he owned many offices along with his wife. It's kind of like some crazy little ironies actually in this story.
Yeah.
But him and his wife, her name was Claire Suarez Harris, and she was successful as well. She actually worked with him and was also in dentistry as well. And on they married on February 14th, 1992. So they married on Valentine's Day, which is also again a day of love. And unfortunately, this will also have a tragic end when Claire caught David having an affair with a woman coming out of a hotel room, and so they found out that they had he had already had a kid, a girl, and then they had 2 twins together as well. So there's also kids involved, and definitely a kind of sad story all around. But she called him. I guess she confronted the both of them. She kind of attacked the woman he was with, and they had to kind of like pull.
Like physically.
Yeah, like physically attacked her. You know what I'm saying? And, kind of got into it, and then I guess they kind of like pull her off of her. And then, because this happened like in the hotel lobby, so I guess as they were leaving out, because she actually had already suspected him, kind of go back a little bit, and how she knew was because she suspected that he was cheating, and she actually hired a private investigator who, of course, surveillance him for a while.
Wait, what year was this?
This was, I'm sorry. Sorry, you guys. So this was July 24th, 2002 is when this was. So they had been married for 10 years at this point. And so
Man, and I was wondering, because I wanted to look it up. She could have been on Cheaters instead of fucking murdering him.
Yeah.
She could have gotten him caught and exposed.
Definitely, right.
And like shamed for life instead.
And she probably thought maybe got the idea from it. It was like, oh, they did it. Maybe that's how,
Yeah.
So I don't know, but so like I said, because the whole thing is crazy, right? So she hired a private investigator. But private investigator told her, where he was and what was happening. It was again kind of like a unscripted episode of Cheetah Day. This is where he's at. This is what he's doing. Then she goes, confronts them. Gets into an altercation with the woman. And then they proceed to kind of, I guess, try to leave. And then somehow she hits this man with her car. Yeah. So they was trying to leave out. She grazed the woman, but it hit him. And then they say she kind of like
ran back to
multiple times. And so it was saying, right? Crunch. Right.
Captain Crunch over there.
Man. So, no.
I know, that's really sad. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be making some fucked up jokes, y'all.
I'm just trying to do the same, so you gotta
That's how I get through life.
No,
y'all know by now. Y'all
know. It all comes from a good place of love, I promise. I promise. But so so he so during the trial, which was a big thing, because it was like a big thing whether or not she actually ran over him multiple times, because the defense was trying to say that because of the size of the car and that type of thing, it would attract him. Because they were saying that autopsy did say it was at least one tire that did the damage. But of course, there was witnesses. Witnesses said, she went around multiple times. But again, they were trying to say that because of where his body was and where she would have circled, there was no way she could have hit him multiple times. And it was so crazy because it also was talking about how she, during the court, they had most people come out, try to say against verify she's innocent, guilty. So she originally wasn't going to go on the stand, and our lawyer, of course, advised her not to go on the stand because there was certain evidence. Because in her interview when she got arrested, she did make a statement that she did want him to hurt, but they were able to.
If you want to get away with murder, you don't go on the stand.
Right, you don't go on the stand. So you already know. So
except for, we'll get into that story.
Yeah, but so that's exactly what happened. And so she went on stand, and the original audio tape they had thrown out in court, it was admissible, so they wasn't going to play it. But when she got on stand, then she opened herself for them to now ask questions about, you know what I mean? So ultimately, her going on stand, it messed her up. So it was so crazy to where her lawyer, full of the stress because she went on stand, passed out. So they had to go on recess until he was able to get hauled in the ambulance.
So did they leave him and walk around him, step around him?
No, they went for recess. They cut.
Yeah, I know, but did they drag his body away?
I don't know what they did.
Did he long pass out, or was it a quick pass out?
Well, they say he did
quickly.
Yeah, they say he did come back to.
Quickly?
Yeah, it must have been quick. But they did say an ambulance was on, so maybe once he got.
Yeah, they still had to check him out.
Yeah. But they said he responded back quickly. But they did go on recess and stuff. But of course, by that point, guilty.
Yeah.
Oh, you did that. And that was the biggest thing, because what it was the defense at the same time couldn't disprove that she didn't run over him, and that was the biggest thing, because they couldn't actually prove she didn't run over. And it was so crazy because not only that, like I said, because she hired the private investigators were there. So of course they filmed it. Everything is on film. There was a police officer who of course was already there who saw it. So
she had the private investigators there?
Yeah, they was, because I guess they told her that they was, how it was.
I guess it wasn't premeditated. I guess it really was a
what?
No,
it was definitely, it wasn't.
Yeah.
This was kind of what they considered.
Because otherwise, then I would think she'd do it.
Oh yeah, it was definitely
a different way.
Right. It was definitely it's definitely one of those what do they call them, passion crimes, or
crimes of passion.
So it was definitely kind of out of that, and I think there's a law that kind of diminishes a little bit if you meet those criteria for to be considered. I guess anything that's not really premeditated, clearly, or things that you planned out or whatever. So, but there's so she's out now, by the way.
Yeah.
Because of that, she was able to kind of.
How old is she
now? Oh, and by the way, and going back, I found out. But it's also crazy. The irony, a little bit more irony of this whole story, is that she actually got charged with the murder February 14th. So she got charged with murder on her anniversary.
Oh my God.
On her wedding anniversary. And
Valentine's
Day. It's crazy, right?
That's so funny.
That's crazy, right?
Oh my God.
That's
wild.
That's wild. Let me see. She was released May 11, 2023.
No, it says 2018.
I'm sorry. Oh no, she was released February. She was released for parole in February 2023. So she also just actually got on parole this year.
Yeah.
February, another anniversary.
Watch out!
Crazy.
Don't be cheating on this hoe.
Oh well. Maybe
How old is she?
Oh, so she. Let's see. I don't know if it has anything specifically.
Here, let's.
Okay. This is her.
I'm sure it says at some point. It usually says down there. Just put age. But that's his. That's him. But that shit's crazy.
That is crazy, right?
Yeah. I mean, so how long was she in?
They say Claire's 45 stood as the verdict was. So she was 45 then. Or how she now? Oh, she's 65 now, and was completely free from state monitoring on February 10th. Wow. 4 days
Oh,
before the
sorry.
anniversary and the day she was acquitted. That's just
Yeah.
wow. That's wow. There was a picture of her though, and like you see, you say you could always like
Tell
see it
in
in the
their
eye. Oh
eyes?
my gosh, there was this
Yes.
picture that was like, oh yeah, she
That's one
looks
thing y'all need to know, okay? I swipe on Tinder based on the eyes to try to determine if someone's a murderer or not. Because you can tell the evil in someone's eyes, like, and if they have blank expression, that's usually not a good sign. If they like.
So I didn't also say this too, because again, what was also about this story, which is crazy, is because his daughter, or the daughter they shared, was in the passenger seat when it happened. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's
So
so
sad.
sad.
Yeah.
How
Crazy.
old? How
Like,
old
she
was she?
was
I thought they had
16.
twins.
Well, remember I said he had a kid before they got together, and then the twins together. Yeah, but that was
16?
his. Yeah.
Oh
so,
my god, so she fully remembers
and
that.
she had to, of course, testify against her. She did,
Right.
he killed her father.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so she was in the car.
So wait, why was she hanging out with her?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to, I didn't understand. It didn't say anything about that part, because, right, it would make sense
Because like the dad was outside the car, so
what?
right? He got ran over.
Yeah. So she must have had already had the daughter with her. So it could be one of those things where maybe they called, and so maybe they was already together, and then when the private investigator called and say, "Yo, he's right here, right now."
Yeah.
So, but I feel like at the same time, maybe that's not nothing you take that man's daughter to, even to expose and find out. If y'all dealing with that, that's something you should have dealt with outside of kids being
there's
present.
no excuse for murder.
Right. But I mean, just as talking about that situation and going to confront that situation, I don't think.
Yeah, you should have never brought her to confront
right. That's
at all.
right.
At all.
Right.
Leave her out of it.
Out
Don't
of it.
put children in the middle of your bullshit.
Exactly. And then like I said, it becomes more than when on top of that.
Yeah.
Then like I said, come on, murder the whole father. Like that's wild. So
that's so sad.
So that's
well, one murder that.
Let me just say also, listen, if you go cheat, just leave. Okay?
Right.
It's not worth life, because you don't know how the other person maybe react, and again things like that, because of the passion and the hurt, and that people can feel, like you don't know that response. And I feel like before you take those chances, because you want to satisfy yourself, listen, it's easier really, on both parties to just leave. Really,
yeah. Exactly, leave before you cheat.
Before you cheat, right? And I've been in situations like that where if I felt like I wanted to cheat, it's just because clearly if I have that inclination to, then clearly there's something with the other person that's not worth it. And then at the end of the day, I feel like by doing so, that if you go ahead and end it on those terms, you have an opportunity to actually open that door again, versus something like that, happening.
She closed that door real quick.
Yeah, she did. Hey, ain't cheating no more.
That door ain't ever creeping open again.
No more.
Except for maybe on Day of the Dead.
So it's crazy, and the mistress was about it too. So.
Do what?
The mistress, the lady. That's what I was reading before you. Like when I read it, because she finally did an interview, so I was reading what the mistress had to say and what notes she had about.
But she didn't get really hurt. She got ran over a little bit too. Or?
Yeah, they hit her. Yeah, she was I guess they was supposed to be close, so you kind of knocked her. So, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, she was like, his last words was like, "I'm sorry." Because she was like, "Look what he did," and she was like, that was her last words to him. And died shortly after that. So.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's awful. I mean, no excuse for cheating, no excuse for murder.
Oh, absolutely. Right.
Let's just say that. Oh no, all my videos just disappeared.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they just went kablam, and I don't know where they are.
Technology, man.
Technology is a bitch sometimes.
When it's good, but sometimes when it be messing up, it's like that's the most frustrating thing ever.
And I just had it all up. I just had multiple things up.
And I have patience for a lot of things, but when it comes to technology, I lose it real quick. Because I'm like, you're designed to do one thing and one thing only. Why aren't you doing it?
Right.
But it gets me every time. So.
I don't know. I have to log back in. I don't have everything set up like I did. So it's okay. We're just going to go with the shorter version of the story, to be honest, because I'm not going to re-look up all the other things that I had opened up. Yeah, do it on your damn time, your own time. Just kidding, but also not kidding, because it would just be a bunch of silence if I was sitting here looking at shit.
Right.
Or you could go, but then I'm like, but I want to go back and forth
Right.
with our stories.
We have to give the condensed version. It's okay.
Yeah.
They
probably need a condensed version anyways. They're like, y'all talk too much.
This is good. Go look up these people, man.
Yeah, for real.
It's really some interesting stories, like seriously. Like.
So, okay, so this is what I was talking about. So this is a case that shed light on domestic violence. So in 1977, Francine Hughes killed her husband in Michigan. And basically, like, I saw an interview of her son talking about, like, how much his dad, like, he was an alcoholic and he just, like, constantly beat her and stuff. And he had been beating her, like, so, like, for 11 or 12 years. And the police had been called so many times, and they would show up and there would be visible bruises and, like, she was visibly hurt, but since they didn't see him strike her, they did nothing about it.
So you got wow.
Yeah.
So they had to see it.
Yes, they had to see it. Which, of course, an abuser is going to act like they're the most amazing person ever when authority's there. It's going to get them in trouble.
But, even still, like,
they're master manipulators.
Right, for them to walk up on, or we got to walk up on you actually.
Right.
I mean, come on. If you
like,
called,
and you called
clearly
multiple times and you're hurt. Like, that's why she, like, this was a big case that kind of led to a rise in the movement and the women's movement, and people were protesting in the streets, and they were just like, yeah, I mean, she shouldn't have murdered him, but she literally tried everything she could to get out of that relationship and to get help. And it felt like a dead end to her. Like, there was nothing else she could do. The police weren't listening. They weren't doing anything. They weren't separating them. And she was also scared for her children. So it's called, they, like, refer to it as the burning bed. So basically, like, her son had just said that he had just beat up on her, and it was just the last straw. And so she told all of the kids to get in the car, and she lit everything on fire, and then ran into the car, like, super scared and super in a rush, and, like, drove away, and you could see just it engulf in flames, like, immediately.
So she doused him, like, gas or something, or she just, while he was sleeping, it was just like,
yeah, he was like passed out, I think, from being drunk, but she lit him and the house on fire, like, and it happened very quick. I imagine that's why I had my extra stuff pulled up, to see if she, like, poured gas on him or what. But the night before, she showed up at the sheriff's office at 8:30 at night, and like, so, and they again did nothing. Like, they have been called to their house multiple times. She even showed up at the sheriff's office the night before and was like, please, like, please help me. And the husband threatened to kill her when the cops leave. Like, said he was gonna kill her when they leave.
Really?
And they did nothing. Like, it was right in front of the cops. Like, just because you didn't see him lay a hand on her, but you see all these bruises and you see him threaten her, like,
right, and just let it go, like, like, that's wild. I mean, physical proof other than your face, other than somebody actually said. I mean, that's like even a threat. But this was when again?
That was in 1977.
Okay, so
and
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, since the 70s, domestic violence shelters and stronger law enforcement policies on abuse have spread throughout the country.
Oh, that's right.
And since the 70s, the number of men killed by their partner has dropped by more than 50%, but the number of women killed by their partner has declined far less dramatically. So 3 women are killed by a partner in the U.S. every day. You wonder why I swipe based on whether I think they're a murderer or not. Like, what the
Right,
heck?
got to.
But yeah, so that was Francine. She ended up getting like let out of. She got arrested, but then she got let out of jail for. Let me see. Let me go back. For what's that?
Makes you think about those
temporary insanity.
Oh, they deem her temporary insanity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, I saw that same story about this was the one I was gonna do, but what's the shorty who because he had chopped off he used to do penis and she threw it out into the field.
I know what you're talking about.
And I saw her name because it was a
I'm putting it in chopped penis murderer.
But she didn't murder, but she did chop it off.
Oh, okay. Well,
Carolyn, I think it's over the C or something. I was reading earlier. I've heard the story before when it first came
man's
out.
penis chopped off in brutal murder during threesome.
Wait,
is that it?
What? No.
That's a whole different thing.
That's a whole different thing. Wait a minute.
That is insane. That is not the kind of threesome I want to be a part of.
Like, oh my god.
I mean, fuck men, but not that.
Golly. It's like I want to say her initials is like CB though.
Okay. I think her name is Carolyn. Or something.
Yeah, I remember like when it first came
Caroline.
out, and it was like a big thing about it. But you know that's it, Lorena Bobbitt.
Rena?
So, yeah, so not either one of those. CB, it was LB. Lorena.
Oh.
Okay. LB.
John and Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah, that was it. Lorena Bobbitt then cut that man, swing off because he was cheating. Hey, listen, man.
And that was only in 1993.
Listen.
They divorced in 1995 after
It took the 2 years. Now I'm going to stay with you. Now I'm going to stick beside you.
It was successfully surgically reattached.
Yeah,
so
it was reattached.
She was like, oops, my bad.
No, she did on purpose because he was cheating.
I know, but why would he stay with her for 2 years? Well,
she said,
mind,
not my bad.
Yeah.
Now let's work it out.
That's what I want to know. Was it she was constantly abusive, or was she manipulating him? Like, was he being abused and that's why he didn't leave, or was she manipulating?
But then again, I feel like as a man, but listen, but as a man, if she chopped me up, I might have to love you down, like, cause
love you down.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might have to stay. Like, I might, you know what I'm saying? Cause you're crazy enough to almost chop it off.
Oh,
like,
yeah, you don't know what else they're gonna do.
Right.
That's the whole thing. That's why a lot of victims stay in relationships, because it's like they're scared for their life if they leave.
Right. Like, you had the balls to chop off the balls.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But she was acquitted and starred in 2 porns after that.
I didn't know that part. But the reason I brought her up was that she was acquitted. That's why I brought her up. But
reason of insanity.
Of insanity. Yeah. That's why I brought it up. But she was.
Oh my god.
Now she done went to. Wow. I want to see her.
Oh wait. No, she wasn't. He was charged with RAPE later that year, but was acquitted, and he starred in 2 porns.
Oh, he was in. Oh, okay.
I guess people really just want to see his pain.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah, because they were like, how did it heal?
Yeah,
like all those questions. Yeah.
Now that I might that I would claim. We gonna capitalize, baby.
Yeah.
I would make it in my image.
Mm-hmm.
get it cast.
But might as well, I guess.
But yeah,
if OnlyFans was around.
Oh my god, hey bro, made millions.
For real.
Oh yeah, it's still around though. Hey sir, it might not be too late for you. It's like 93.
Yeah, but I don't know. Did dicks get really like sagging when you get older? I don't know. Because then like you wouldn't see the scar as much, I would think, because it'd be a bunch of loose skin.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Show it in the film first. This was my first. Oh my god, it took them almost a year and a half to get. No. We get divorced the next day. For real.
Yeah, I'm going into witness protection.
Immediately. Like, that's wow. Try to get that man spayed and neutered.
For real. Okay.
That's so
Your turn, right?
Okay, I think, yeah, okay, hold on. I wasn't
Okay,
ready.
I think we both should do one more and
Okay.
call it a day, even though I have so many things in here.
Okay, so, hold on, you guys. Sorry, I'm getting mine up. Sorry, I was
I
getting
have
into
so
that.
many things in here. I'm like struggling to choose.
Okay, almost there. Oh Lord.
But I think I know what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so the person I'm talking about, I'm going to talk about now is, and this was the person actually who his lady eyes definitely looks like it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, crazy for real. So the person I'm talking about is actually comedic and actor Phil Hartman, and in the early '90s he was like really big, and he did a lot of voices for The Simpsons. He was really big in Saturday Night Live. A few movies he did, and actually growing up, he was like really one of my favorite comedians. I just always liked the stuff he was in, and I remember it was so crazy because I remember seeing him in a bunch of stuff, and like I said, a lot of Saturday Night Live, and stuff like that. And I just remember one day like randomly thinking like, I haven't seen this man in a while. You know, like what happened? You know, what happened to us? It was really random. Like maybe a year or two later, like you just go for seeing somebody all the time, and then just like they disappeared. And I do remember at one point looking it up. I was researching and finding out that he did pass. I just necessarily didn't know the manner until like this, and happened to come back and to find kind of similar situation. Fortunately, he was as well murdered by his wife. It's crazy. Apparently, she our plagiarism was problems, but apparently they had, everybody said that they had a really nice marriage, and and everything's well between them. But apparently, I guess she did suffer from substance abuse, and so they would have arguments about that often. And so it's like the night of, she went out with friends, and came back and everything was good. And I guess he allegedly he had they had an argument about her drug use, and apparently shot that man 3 times in the chest, 2 times in the head.
What drug use was she on?
They found she was, I want to say it was cocaine, honestly. Cocaine, and she was on something else. I'll have to go back and see if I can see it later. But it was something else that was found else in her system. But she so she, like, I think went to a friend, or went to a friend's house, like distraught about the whole situation. And by the way, their kids was upstairs in the room asleep like during this whole time as well. He did do it in their home, and so she went to a friend, I guess really distraught, and and they said that she was at that point completely inebriated, and so I guess they convinced her to go back to the house where the police was then called. And so she was able to get her kids out, and then they said next day, they heard another gunshot, and it was a murder-suicide, so she actually ended up killing herself as well. Yeah, so this is also getting sad because now you got 2 kids with neither parent, and it's really sad and unfortunate, what I'm saying? I mean, and like I say, again, Phil Hartman, look at his work. He's a really funny guy, done some great things.
So what all did was he like abusive or anything?
No, I really think that it was, from everything I was reading, like I said, I think it was just her, like I said, drug and alcohol abuse. And I think because he maybe again, they had to argue about it, and because she, I guess, was because you know how those particular drugs do anyway, it goes off your mood, so if you're amped or you're angry or whatever, then those particular drugs amplify that. And so I think that's ultimately what contributed to it, honestly. And
Damn.
Yeah, so this was his third wife as well. He had been married 2 times prior, but yeah, I want to see if they so they did say it at one point.
What does he look like?
Oh, you know who more like this?
Maybe he looks like Bill Murray a little bit.
Yeah, he used to do like a lot of SNL. He used to do a lot of like Clinton skits and stuff on there. And they was actually saying that like during his time, like he was really like the glue that they felt was during his season was holding the show together. You know, a lot of the characters that he was bringing to life, or you know, subject matter, you know, was really well. But and I which I didn't know that either.
What? He was in Jingle All the Way? I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
Yeah, he's in that. And then I didn't know like he came up with the idea of Pee Wee Herman.
For real?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, so and then he got with Paul Rubens, and then of course Paul Rubens created the character, but they kind of together came up. Like I thought that was an interesting fact for those who may know about Pee Wee Herman, and also by the way, R.I.P. to Paul Rubens because he actually recently died as well. So yeah, for those who may know, might be.
And R.I.P. to our lighting, truly.
Yeah, we was trying, guys, so many times.
I know, and it's just the sun is moving and we're struggling.
Yeah, so, you see me, I know I'm squinting so much
right now.
I really look dead. I really look like a tragedy. That is so wild.
For real. I look like I just got off.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so so murder suicide on her, and I really wish I could find whatever that was she had. But
I'm gonna try to be quick on my last one because the sun is hurting my eyes. Are you good? You can still look up your stuff and interrupt me.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. So the last thing that I want to talk about, y'all probably know at least a little bit of this, because if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. I am talking about the O.J. Simpson trial. So this trial was like one of the, first of all, it was like it was like the first televised trial. So it like kind of became a reality TV in a sense. And then I remember later with like Casey Anthony, that was a big one too, that like everybody watched. So, you know, and O.J. Simpson was very famous, and then he had a lot of famous lawyers, and
for those who don't know, again, I like to give pretext for like newer people, generations and stuff. O.J. was a famous football player, for those who don't know, so just relevancy.
And then Robert Kardashian, who is the Kardashians' dad, he was one of the lawyers, not the main lawyer, but he was one of them, and like him and OJ were very good friends. And there's an interview of Kris Kardashian talking about how she knows him so well, she could tell that he was shocked that he got like not guilty verdict.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that he was shocked. But there's so many reasons for that. First of all, and honestly, I'm like, the prosecution said they've made a mistake since then, but I'm like, I don't know, like, people with power, like, I don't know, like, were y'all in on it too?
Right.
You know,
everybody,
because the mistakes that they made were crazy.
Oh my gosh. And for those who don't know this story, it is wild.
Yeah, so
it is wild.
For one, they took all the, and this had never been done before, so I don't know why they thought this was okay. But they took all of the jurors to the active crime scene. And I'm sorry, you're covering most of my face. We gotta figure out this soon. Okay, so they took oh,
but you gotta go back though, because you said the infamous case, but you didn't necessarily talk about what happened.
Okay.
What he did. For those who may not know the who, the what, the hows, and how did we get from OJ to which is one of the biggest. It was one of the biggest trials in the country. So if
Yeah.
you really don't know and haven't heard, it's again
'Cause
like
he
where
was
have
not-
you been? What are you doing with your life?
He was not just in the NFL, like he was a broadcaster and an actor, and he was tried for the murder of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her quote-unquote friend, Ronald Goldman. So, and Nicole's sister has said several times that like he was abusive to her during the relationship, and like Nicole was scared of him and this and that, and then he drove his like Chevy Bronco super fast away from the cops, like they were chasing him, and they had a whole car chase and everything.
Yes, and I do recommend going and watch that news footage because it's entertaining.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it was
It's
like a
lot.
crazy long chase.
Yeah, long chase.
Long.
They really chased this man.
And the trial spanned 11 months.
Oh, sorry, that's what I asked.
So it was from November 9th, 1994 to October 3rd, 1995. So just recently passed the date of the verdict date. But opening statements were January 24th, 1995. So they took, back to what they did.
And backstory really quick too, because they actually were already like separated, divorced by that point, and so apparently the story goes that she had kind of like began to move on.
Yeah.
And so a lot of this stems from, or the idea was that it was like a jealous ex-lover, by the way. So just to kind of throw that bit of story in there, it's like they were divorced, and she was trying to move on, and allegedly, I guess he wasn't okay with her moving on, and try to get rid of both of them. Again, all allegedly, and of course he was acquitted, so of course, I mean,
we can't say for sure, but look at what went wrong, and y'all can draw your own conclusions. I think it kind of speaks for itself, but that's just me. And the trial took place shortly after the 1992 LA riots too. The big thing that like was talked about in the trial from the defense is that they were just trying him because he's a black man, and that very much happens in our society. So it was, I think the defense was very brilliant in how they did this case. Like everything that they did.
It was. Oh my God. I will say yes.
Yeah, like they were spot on
they were
the
spot
whole time. The prosecution is what messed up.
Yeah, for real. The prosecution messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, and
the defense was good.
Yeah, the defense really had it together.
But it's, and it was so beautifully done as far as like, listen, that idea of reasonable doubt. Oh my God,
right?
That's where the defense won at. They created that reasonable doubt.
But from the jump, they did not have a evidence to really work with because they brought in all those jurors onto the crime scene.
And even before the crime scene, they had already. Prior to, because that was a whole other thing about it. Because from the time that the officers was actually even called to the initial crime scene, so much quote unquote and that's the whole story. I mean, there's so much about this case, but that was the whole thing. It was like by the time the cops were actually called, there's so much kind of cover up stuff had already potentially happened, where there were already like different tracks through the blood, and so it was just, even the evidence itself wasn't there because there was already so much just.
Yeah.
It was already compromised before police even got there, so
but
already.
Like, them bitches treated it like it was a Ripley's Believe It or Not museum.
Right, they did.
It is an active murder case.
They actually bring it to the public. Yeah, take them to the
house.
Take them to the house.
Got an OJ wax mannequin in there or something.
Now they take them to a whole tour of the house. So this is the master bedroom, and this is the beautiful chandelier. Oh, and that's the blood stain.
Yeah, and there's another splatter on the wall.
Right.
If you want to take a picture, make sure you don't have your flash on.
Right. Keep all hands inside of the vehicle.
Right.
Oh,
but one of the things that he dropped, which is now like the biggest turning point in this case, was that he allegedly dropped a glove.
It wasn't him, okay? It was
there
the
was
murderer.
A glove.
The murderer
dropped at the crime scene, covered in blood, and then the prosecution thought it was a great idea to kind of make this big statement of like if this glove fits, then that just proves you're the murderer. And then I saw a video of a juror like talking about how they know like how gloves work, like they shrink when they get wet. So, and he like was trying to put it on himself. So this is one of the times where actually letting himself get on the stand worked out really well for the defense, because he didn't have to, nobody was trying to put the glove on him, so he could easily like act like he was trying but not really trying. And then
I mean, even though technically that glove did go over the hand.
I know. It looked like it fit so well. I looked back at those videos.
I look at that too, like.
But that looks like it's on. All you have to do is just like attach the end. What do you mean? So
like
weird.
right there. It is like. I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's funny though.
But yeah.
But that's what it was. Listen, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
Yes.
Famous Johnny Cochran line, and who's also passed away. As a matter of fact, you know, like I think everybody except for him passed away that was on the trial.
Oh wow.
And I think the judge just passed away.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He's the only one alive in the whole case.
Yeah. Well, am I wrong? I thought.
Because Kardashian gone, Johnny Cochran gone.
But OJ's alive.
OJ's alive. That's what I'm saying. He's the only one.
Oh,
still.
He's
But everybody else connected to the case.
He's now 75 years old.
Yeah, everybody else connected to the case out of here. So I guess you know, the mysteries that we'll never know. I guess.
Yeah.
Even though he, did get arrested for trying to steal back his own stuff.
Yeah, because then I see
later.
Something about him being released from prison in 2017.
So, it was putting his stuff on auction in a hotel room type of thing, and he went in to go get his stuff. Guns are blazing.
Oh, there was so after being acquitted in 1995, Simpson was arrested in Las Vegas for armed robbery and kidnapping, and a year later he was convicted. It was in 2007 or something. So I guess in 2008 he was convicted and sentenced to 33 years, along with a minimum of 9 years.
Yeah, but he didn't do 33 years.
But 9 years before he was eligible for parole.
Oh, that's if he was convicted, what he would have got?
No, this is for a whole separate thing. This is for the armed robbery and kidnapping that he did after.
Okay.
But
how much time did he? But he didn't do the whole 33 years for that, though, right?
No, because he got in 2017 and he was convicted in 2008.
Okay, so he did what?
He did 9 years. Yeah, 9 years.
Oh, so he
was
did the minimum.
eligible for parole. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But now it just says he beat Joe chilling in Las Vegas. So it's wild though, because he has a very kind face, but he doesn't have kind eyes.
But why would he have to pay $33.5 million to the families of them if he was acquitted?
Oh, it's a civil court. That was a civil suit.
Oh, so they sued him personally? Yeah, but if he wasn't acquitted, then why would he still have to pay? Like, if I had nothing to do with it and I'm acquitted, then how are you going to sue me?
But they probably did it, like, on different grounds. I don't know.
That's just wild. I mean, he says it hasn't been paid fully, but he did pay some, but still. I'm not paying for nothing if I ain't did nothing. What you mean? I ain't do nothing.
Yeah, but, I mean...
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But, I mean... Yeah, it's just wild, because everybody has their opinions, but we'll never truly know what happened.
Right, never.
And that's just sad for her and her family that they never, like, get that full closure.
That's true. That's true.
So, yeah, I mean, and just just so y'all know, be safe out there.
Please be
and
safe.
choose some solid lovers.
Yes, right. And don't cheat. And don't be abusive. Like, listen, I mean, it's wild. Because we don't, I mean, nobody wants to be a story.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants to be a story.
Yeah, and a story that, like, even we were, like, struggling to be like, wait, what else about, like, like, asking questions, like, we didn't know about certain things, like, certain questions popped up in our head, and it's like, their full story isn't being told. We went through highlights of their story.
Right.
And so to find out more about their stories and come up with opinions of for yourself, definitely look them up if you want to. Make sure you're in a good mindset, because it definitely was challenging this week.
Sure.
Because it's so sad, and so
and these are all, again, these are real people. Like sometimes, we may joke a lighthearted, but we don't take any, this isn't a lighthearted thing at all. We take it very serious as far as again, domestic abuse of any kind, murder of any kind, for whatever reasons. And again, I feel like on any side of this, the person who is a victim and as the person who, is the person who done it, both sides. Like, if you have that rage or you have that, go seek help as well. Go talk to somebody, figure out, what it is that's causing you to displace that emotion to where you need to be physical or harm someone else, so both parties definitely seek help if necessary.
And be mindful of, like, especially while you're growing up, I'm sure you can think of someone where it was like, that kid just killed small animals for fun. And I think about this one person all the time and just, like, worry about them, and I hope that I don't know where they're at or what they're up to, but I hope they were able to seek help and get that, like, I don't know how you would take care of it, but, like, get help for that, because, like, a lot of times, like, the making of a murderer is a narcissist and, like, someone that's hurt small animals and, like, a bunch of different things. It doesn't just happen overnight necessarily. It's a lot of building up to become that person that's willing to do that. And I remember learning in high school about how like, a part of your brain, like, dies when you murder someone.
Really?
Yeah. Because we're not meant for that. That's not, like, the food chain isn't us versus us. So and it has been, and it's been treated like that sometimes, but just love one another.
Just love one another.
And give everybody real love.
Real love.
Like,
and if you can't,
maybe don't murder someone.
If you can't deal, listen. I promise you, it's easier to leave than a life sentence. I promise. Just, on either end, dead or alive. Like, it's not worth a life sentence. And think about that on both ends. Victim and not, it's not worth your life sentence.
Yeah, you won't get what you're hoping to gain from that. You won't. So if you like this episode, share it with your friends.
Please share it.
I know it was an up and down journey today. And come up, share your own opinions with us. If you agree or don't agree or want to know more, talk to us. Let us know.
Let us know. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, we definitely want to hear from you. So, and thank you for being patient while all of our lighting constantly changed.
Absolutely right. All right. Absolutely. Everything changed.
We will see y'all next week.
See y'all later next week.
Love you.
Bye.